Did you know that IBM achieved a remarkable 226% increase in their course completion rates through gamification? And Deloitte, one of the big four accounting firms, experienced a 47% jump in their course engagement on their L&D platforms by applying similar gamification methodologies. Now, these are a couple of Fortune 500 companies that have benefited tremendously by implementing gamification in their L&D courses. Here's the best part about this video. If you're new to the concept of gamification, this is the only video that you need to watch to understand what is gamification, what are the different types of gamification, and how you can successfully implement them in your organization. But before that, a quick intro. Hey there, welcome to our YouTube channel, Animaker's L&D Academy. I'm Apurva, an L&D enthusiast. I am learning about all things L&D and I share it on this YouTube channel. I represent the team Animaker, an AI animation platform used by thousands of L&D professionals and e-learning architects to create engaging courses. Now, whether you're new to the world of L&D or have decades of experience, you'll always find something valuable by watching my videos. I also host an interview series on this channel called Animaker's Genius Talk, where I bring in top L&D experts and discuss the current and the future landscape of L&D. So please do check out our channel. As mentioned earlier, in today's video, we'll be exploring the dynamic world of gamification and how it can revolutionize workplace learning. We'll start by understanding what is gamification, followed by how companies are leveraging it to boost learning and engagement. Finally, we'll dive into the different types of gamification. Are you ready? Let's dive in. First, I wanted to start by showing you all a very interesting example. Now, you all know how speeding on road can be a very dangerous activity. Despite all the warning signs and speed limits, many drivers often ignore them. So in 2010, Sweden came up with a fun initiative to control speeding and promote road safety. The initiative was called Speed Limit Lotto. Here's how it works. Instead of just penalizing drivers who were speeding, they decided to reward those who actually obeyed the speed limits. The idea was that if you're driving at or below the speed limit, you will automatically be entered into the lottery. The prize money for the lottery came from the fines collected from those who were caught speeding, and this is how they executed the whole thing. They chose a specific road where speeding was an issue. This area was equipped with speed cameras, but these cameras weren't just there to catch the speeders. They also recorded the speed of everyone passing by, including those who obeyed the speed limit. The campaign was publicized through various channels, including social media, press releases, and videos. The idea was to spread the word that safe driving could be actually fun and rewarding, and the results were pretty positive. After implementing the speed limit lotto, the average speed of drivers in the test area dropped by 22%. Now, this is a classic example of how gamification works. So, what is gamification? Gamification is a process of adding game elements and game mechanics to a non-game context in order to motivate people to take the right steps towards achieving their goals. In simple terms, it's simply using the power of games to motivate people towards achieving specific goals. Now that we know what is gamification, let's look at how companies can use it. Gamification is a fantastic way for companies to boost engagement and motivation by adding game elements like points, badges, and leaderboards, and interactive elements like stories, scenarios, quests, and challenges to their training programs. Businesses can make learning more fun. For example, employees might compete on leaderboards for prizes or earn rewards for completing courses. This approach not only motivates employees to participate but also helps them to learn and grow more enjoyably. Now let's look at the different types of gamification that you can use. Gamification in training can be broadly classified into two types. Number 1, structural gamification. Number 2, content gamification. Number 1, structural gamification. Here's how structural gamification works. When you take a dull, boring, pre-existing e-learning module and add game elements to it like points, badges, and leaderboards, it's called structural gamification. You're not changing the content, you're just making it more engaging and motivating for the learner by adding a game-like reward structure. As learners progress through the course and answer each question correctly, they steadily rise on the leaderboard, triggering their competitive instincts. This motivates them to keep improving as they aim to outperform their peers. Upon successful course completion, they earn badges as a mark of achievement. These badges can be shared with their peers, allowing the learners to showcase their skills and accomplishments. This not only provides personal satisfaction but also fosters a sense of community and healthy competition within the learning environment. The combination of visible progress through leaderboards and the recognition of badges encourages continuous engagement, as learners are motivated to improve, rank higher, and earn more recognition among their peers. So, how's it done? To implement these game elements, most organizations use a learning management system. An LMS is basically a platform that hosts your e-learning courses. It's where learners log in to complete their lessons and track their progress. By adding things like points, badges, and leaderboards to the LMS, it helps manage and display all those rewards in one place. So whenever a learner hits a goal, the LMS awards badges and shows their rank on the leaderboard. This makes it much easier to keep track of everything and ensure that gamification works smoothly. Structural gamification is also quite easy to develop. In fact, when people think about gamification, they often go for structural gamification first because it's easy to get started, as you're just adding game elements on top of an existing course module. Structural gamification also tends to be more budget-friendly. The primary costs are tied to integrating these features into your LMS. Here's a real-world example of how Deloitte, one of the biggest consulting firms in the world, used structural gamification. Deloitte wanted to take their senior leader training up a notch. They have a program called the Leadership Academy where leaders go to develop their soft skills. But instead of doing the usual training stuff, Deloitte decided to spice things up using structural gamification. That is, as the employees go through their training, they set their own learning goals and dive into different topics. After each mission or training module, the employees earn badges to show off their achievements. Plus, there is a leaderboard that lets employees see how they stack up against others. And guess what? Since adding these game elements, Deloitte has seen a 47% increase in the number of people coming back to the platform each week. It turns out that when people are excited to compete with their peers, they're far more engaged in their learning process. Now let's take a look at the second type of gamification. Number 2, content gamification. Content gamification transforms traditional learning into an interactive experience by incorporating levels and challenges, making it more fun and engaging for the learners. Think back to the first time you played Super Mario. The goal was simple: save the princess who has been kidnapped by Bowser. But getting there wasn't easy. You couldn't just breeze through one level and win. Instead, you have to progress through a series of levels, each harder than the last, testing your skills and helping you improve along the way. In Super Mario, you don't complete everything in one go. You go through a series of scenarios designed to sharpen your skills while keeping you engaged. Each level wasn't just fun, it had a purpose. Every level introduced new obstacles like Goombas and tricky platforms, forcing you to jump, dodge, and think carefully about your next move. If you made a mistake like running into a Goomba or falling into a pit, you would lose a life and have to restart the level. Now imagine giving the same level of experience to your employees. Gamification can make learning feel like an exciting challenge and not like a chore. Learning can be actually enjoyable. This is especially important for today's learners, particularly Gen Z, who thrive on such interactive experiences. They want to be involved rather than sit back and absorb information. With content gamification, companies can create scenarios that mimics the real-life work situation, allowing their employees to practice their skills in a safe environment before applying it in real life. It is like having a space where making mistakes is part of the learning process, which can be really valuable. Content gamification breaks learnings into levels that gradually increases in difficulty. Each level presents challenges that are built on the previous lessons, allowing the employees to gain the confidence and the skills as they progress. For example, let's imagine a sales training game with 3 levels, each level focusing on different aspects of sales process. In the first level, you learn how to conduct a discovery call. The second level challenges you to identify the main problems your sales prospects face and present your solutions. Finally, in the third level, you practice negotiations. As you complete each level, you move up on the leaderboard alongside your colleagues, making the experience competitive and motivating. Each level in this game pushes you forward in your learning journey. When mistakes are made, employees aren't harshly punished or embarrassed. Instead, they receive a constructive feedback that highlights the consequences of their choices, empowering them to rectify their errors and encouraging them to try again. Here's an example of one of the levels from the sales training course Sales Quest that we just discussed. This particular example was developed by one of the users using Animaker.
In today's quest, you're stepping into the role of Alex, a sales representative at Cactus Tech, a SaaS company, preparing for a discovery call with Taylor, the tech lead at Nimbus Solutions. Dive deep to uncover Taylor's needs, forge a genuine connection, and gather key insights to position your solution perfectly. Let's go.
Hi, Taylor. Thanks for taking the time to meet with me. How's everything going on your end?
Hey Alex, good to connect. Let's jump right in. I've got about 20 minutes before my next meeting.
Looks like Taylor's busy, but open to talking. How will you kick things off? First impressions are everything. Would it be option A? Absolutely, Taylor. I know time is tight, so I want to make this valuable for you. To start, could you give me a quick overview of your top priorities for Nimbus? Or, option B, great to meet you, Taylor. Before we dive in, I'd love to hear more about Nimbus Solutions and what brought you to this conversation. Or, option C, hey Taylor, I'm excited to tell you about our platform and how we can help Nimbus scale effectively.
Absolutely, Taylor. I know time is tight, so I want to make this valuable for you. To start, could you give me a quick overview of your top priorities for Nimbus?
Sure. Right now, we're trying to optimize our onboarding process as we scale. It's eating up a lot of internal resources.
Excellent start. You respected her time and immediately focused on her needs. Taylor is engaged, and you're setting the stage for a productive conversation.
In this level, by selecting option A, you've got Taylor engaged and now you've set a stage for a productive conversation. However, if you had chosen any other option other than A, you would have been shown the consequences of your choices, and if it was incorrect, you would be prompted to try again. How cool and exciting was that? In the above example, you engage in an interactive conversation with the potential prospect, making choices that guides you through the discovery call. For someone who is starting their sales career, this type of gamified learning can be really motivating, helping them process through their training while retaining valuable knowledge. And that's why content gamification can really benefit your employees and increase the course completion rates by 100%. It helps the learners to connect with the material in a way that is both memorable and impactful. In summary, content gamification can transform workplace learning. It is not just a trend, it is a way to make learning more effective and enjoyable. And with tools like Animaker, creating interactive scenarios for your course modules or gamification has never been easier because it cuts down the development time and cost by 70%, increases the engagement rate on your course by 100%. Whether you're building interactive course modules, training simulations, or gamified lessons, Animaker empowers L&D teams to create dynamic, visually rich training content with ease. You can also easily integrate these animation videos into an authoring tool like Articulate Storyline. In case you're interested in using Animaker for creating gamified courses but don't know where to start, don't worry. I've added few useful links in the video description. These links will help you get started with your course gamification initiative. Did you find this video useful? We'll be covering more such L&D related topics in our upcoming videos. So please do subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more video updates.